Ooh, I am 3 minutes late. Yeah, that's right. What's up, you guys and ghouls, or ghouls and gals? How are you all doing? I am Russ, and welcome to another Russ Toy Reviews live stream. That sound is my computer trying to charge my laptop, and it's making an annoying noise. I need to get a new charging cable for this thing, but we have a few people in here. Oh, we have a new podcast to talk about that's just out there. Can you guys see me and hear me and everything? Everything looking good? What's up, the Spider Fan? How are you doing? Might not be able to join this one, but hi, Russ. All right, pre-game message right there. Shills and haters. Shills and haters. Looks like I've come to the right stream. I got to look into this Shills and Haters channel. I like the logo right there with the dollar bill sign and the dreaded hater sign. Well done. GoobTube, how you doing, bro? I write this to take up space. Oh, you butthole. What? Never getting those moments back in my life ever again. That's it. How you doing, Tom? Good to see you. How are you? What's up, GoobTube? Hopefully this is all running okay. I can't see the chat anywhere, so I have no idea. Or I could see the chat that I just highlighted, but I don't know if there's new people watching. I don't have a thing that's showing me a number of people or whatever. But I wanted to talk about the HasLab a little bit, not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot to say. I think at this point, we can just all assume that this thing is going to get backed if people want to see it get backed, and that's kind of the end of it. Like, there's not a whole lot we can really get into past what we've gotten into until they decide to do something else. But the fact is that they released that Robbie Reyes head sculpt, and it's I wanted to actually promote this on my Instagram. I forgot, but they got the Robbie Reyes head sculpt added to the freaking program. I'm trying to do two things at once. I'm having a hard time talking here. But they've added it in there. However, it's already just that one little thing has actually just made the HasLab move in the other direction. Like, it's actually slowly moving in the other direction, which I am very surprised to see. I did not expect to see that. Let me just double check some things over here, make sure that everything's going well on my end over here. And all right, cool. Oh no, it's working. I just saw myself looking at my own phone right over there. So there we go. But yeah, live viewer comments show up on StreamYard. This is an example. Oh, click on a comment to show. Okay, that's weird. I don't think anybody's left any new comments though. So I guess that's it. I'm like, oh no, there's hella comments over here. What the hell? I don't see your comment. I have to refresh this page or something. There's like Vivi is the chosen one. Brat's car. Oh, come on. I want to see the. There we go. Okay. You guys. Okay. Now I can see. All right. We're going to talk about the HasLab, and I want to talk about tomorrow. First off, please don't spoil me with the leaks. I absolutely hate the leaks. And I hate the leaks because I hate spoilers. Spoilers in general. I call leaks the spoilers, to be honest with you. And I don't like it. Like, I don't like the leaks. Now, I don't have a personal problem with anybody who does it. Like, I just don't like it for myself. Like, if you want to ruin the show for yourself, go right ahead. But I like the show. I'm a musician. I have respect for the art of the presentation. All right. And I prefer not to know going in what's going to happen next. You guys have been following me for a long time. I hate spoilers. So I'd rather not know. When you see my content talking about the reveals and everything tomorrow, it's going to come from a perspective from somebody who hasn't looked into it. Now, I did see some thumbnails that had some of the leaks on there. Like, luckily, Rectangular only put Corsair on there for like the leak, and then and I think there's a couple other channels that had like a bunch of the spoilers littered on their thumbnails. So I know a few, but I'm trying to like pack it down and ignore that I saw it. I'm gonna try to pretend I didn't see that shit. All right, I'm gonna try to forget. All right, I may need some help, but I think I'll be able to get myself to forget. But I am excited for tomorrow. And I watched caught that 3POA live stream, and Bobby Vala convinced me to back out of HasLab. Wow, are you serious? Whoa, you let him convince you to back out of it. That's wild. I want to know what it was, man. I am very surprised to see that, Nick. I'm like, because yeah, that trips me out. This is actually frustrating me because I can't see my chat. I have to refresh my page to see the freaking chat. I got a super. And it's not refreshing on its own. It's very irritating. But Kyle, thank you. I want Ghost Rider, but not at that price. Nope. Yeah, I want it too. I really want it too. And that price, man. Yeah, it's not. And Kyle, it's like I don't know if people see something. I've never seen Kyle as a Marvel Legends hater. You know what I mean? Like that's the one thing that damn it, Goob. You good one. The rectangular rumors or the leaks, they're rumors, technically rumors. They're gonna change them, I bet. You know what I mean? I bet they're gonna change what the reveals are so that for the I hope they do. I hope they change what the reveals are so that it doesn't match up to all the spoilers. But yeah, I am so pissed off at this StreamYards right now because I cannot see. Okay, so I have to basically. I know what I got to do. Let's see here. Let's see if I could go to my view on YouTube and then mute this. I know what I got to do. There we go. All right. So now I have to go back and forth. And then if I see a super chat, I'll just refresh over on the other page. And now I could see. Yeah, no hate here, man, says Kyle Brown. You may not see me highlight every single thing because I'm not seeing it. But yeah, I agree. I never saw Kyle as somebody who's a hater. So I just think he thinks the same thing, What up, Sonny? Good to see the Sonny channel in here. And Tom Bowling says, I don't hate Marvel Legends. Most of them are still pretty cool, but I'm not going to let anyone make a chump out of me. Yeah. I mean, I don't like. Here's one thing I want to kind of compare this whole thing to. Like, let's not forget something that's very important here. And I think we forget about it all the time because this collecting stuff is some bougie shit. Like, it's a bougie thing to engage in, right? Like, if you think about it, we need things to survive in life, and all of that stuff over there. Can you see? Am I pointing in the right direction? So I have to look through another window. But all that stuff right there, like, I love this stuff, man. This stuff makes me happy. It's very, very cool stuff, but I don't need it to survive, right? Like, it's an additional thing. The drum stuff, that's part of my work. That helps me make, which helps me feed my kids. That's different. And the toys do too, actually, now that I think about it. So it's a little bit different right there for me personally, because I do this as a full-time thing. But for the most part, hey, big thank you, Ray. For the most part, it's a luxury. And I don't think it should be compared to a necessity like, I don't know, your means of transportation to get to work or something like that. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things where it's an overpriced thing no matter what. But if it crosses the line into the necessities of life, if the price gets up to the point where it starts to add up and starts to infiltrate that part of the budget, then it's going to be a big down. It's going to be a big no for a lot of people. Shart out, but I don't know if it's just the price itself. You know what? That's bullshit. I take that back. It's not the price itself. It's the offering for the price, right? It's the offering for the price. But I blame the price because I don't want more stuff to come with it so much as to just bring that price to where I felt it would have been fair. Ray says, Shart, I was thinking about how just 2 years ago I was 100% on Legends and would buy every X-Fig I saw, but Hasbro has lost me. Sad. Oh, man. That is sad. They may win you back. They may not. What's up, action figure dude? Good to see you. Missed you, man. It's been a bit. It has been a bit. Hussein, $350, $25 a figure, 14 Legends. There you go. But if at $25 a figure, man, I mean, really closer to 28, maybe. I don't know. The average price for a Marvel Legend, I don't think is 25 anymore. I think it's a little bit higher than that. Point is, it may be closer to like 13 or 12 Legends instead of 14 Legends. Value isn't there. But yeah, when you're looking at it like that and you're adding up all the figures you could get for it, yeah, the value isn't there. It's like $350 isn't too much to ask. It's just too much to ask for that. That was another thing I wanted to bring up. And this is one thing I think I may have talked about this before. Oh, Ladies Man says, maybe in the future, us cyberpunks can live off eating plastic. Might. Who knows? But one thing I wanted to say before I click on this other super chat, thank you, Ray, is the argument of Super 7's Thunder Tank and the Party Wagon. I think NECA, correct me if I'm wrong, I think NECA is making the Party Wagon in Super 7. I know for sure Super 7's doing the Thunder Tank, which, to be honest with you, I want that thing really bad. I really want that thing a lot. And I think I actually, I have to double check, but I think I pre-ordered it through BBTS. But I was thinking about that comparison. Like the Thunder Tank is like $400, $500. The Party Wagon, I think that's $400 as well. Those aren't real vehicles. Like those are ridiculous vehicles that don't exist, that you really can't get anywhere. Like you get a reissue Party Wagon thing, but like you can't really just, like, the Party Wagon is a fictional figure that you could fit multiple figures inside and stuff, right? But with and the Thunder Tank, you could fit a bunch of figures inside that too. But like the Robbie Reyes, you get like the one guy and the passenger, and that's it, right? So, and it doesn't have that same like playability battle feature that you can do with a Party Wagon or you can do with the Thunder Tank. Like those are extremely unique vehicles that don't look anything like anything else. I don't know why I say anything twice. That car right there, you know what I mean? Like, I'm surprised to see that nobody's really made. I know Sonny's got his custom, but I haven't seen anybody like go all out and just try to make it themselves, which I know they can. I like collecting, but I'm in this hobby for the customizing. I view these figs as art, and seeing a Pizza Spidey Multh for the 50th time isn't art. Mold reuse, I think, is what you're getting at. But yeah, well, I mean, I don't think you need to pick up every single Marvel Legend. You know what I mean? I've been where you're at right now. Like I've been in that mental space where you're at right now. And for me, it was during the dark times of Marvel, the early dark times of Marvel Legends, shortly after Hasbro took over. I remember the experience very well of buying wave one of Hasbro Legends and going, all right, there's a lot of things here I don't like, but I still like it for the most part. And then wave 2 disappointing me. And it being like, oh my God. And then I remember when the FinFang, I think the FinFang Foom wave was shortly after that. Was that the third wave? No, there was a wave in between those two. Was it the Ronin wave? God, I'm trying to remember. The Brood wave was the third one. The Brood wave was where I was like, cherry picking, baby. Like, that's it. That's right. Because at the time, I bought the entire wave 1, and then I bought the entire wave 2, and then I think it was with the Brood wave, I was like, let's cherry pick. I can't do this anymore. This is not making me happy. This is not worth it. And I started cherry picking at that point. Gens. What's gens mean? I think you're right, gens. Is that some Texas, or is there somebody? Oh, there's a gens person right here. Gens Hieronymus. Weren't those vehicles offered as made to order / pre-order as opposed to a Kickstarter? And yeah, I think you're right too. Yeah, they're just straight up pre-orders. So why don't they do that straight up pre-order thing? I kind of like that idea, right? Like, just pre-order. Why? Well, because if you're pre-ordering, you're committed to making them no matter what the numbers are. So what would have the numbers have been if they just done a straight up pre-order? And then, yeah, you're right. Those other but what's the difference? Like, what's really the difference between it just being a pre-order? You know what I mean? Because the Kickstarter thing is used as a pre-order, like as a way of pre-ordering. The crowdfunding campaign, it's used as a way to pre-order. It's essentially a pre-order made to order, but it's not that different from a pre-order. So yeah, basically the gamble, because if they don't get enough pre-orders, then they're not going to make it. So they don't really have, I guess, is the difference. Yeah, what is the difference? You put so much money invested in all this. Like, you already spent your money on the hard part, right? So why are you so? And they are fuck. That's another really good point. And they are way bigger. So I wonder what. Yeah, so if they pre-order it, they're committed to coughing up the money on the tooling and all that stuff, right? Like, they have to now. They've accepted pre-orders. Like, let's say they got a solid 6,000 pre-orders, but they need the 3 million plus to make this thing. I don't even get, like, to me, I don't get the costing behind that. I would like to get a summary though from another Nick on, like, what was the info that where you're like, okay, that's it. I am canceling my pre-order right now. I want to know what the deciding factor was. If it was made to order, wouldn't it be more expensive? Not sure too many people would buy them to bring the price down or even it out. Well, that's what essentially a Kickstarter is doing. It's a made to order thing. So not sure too many people. That's what a made to order thing is. It's not too different from that. They want to sit on people's money. I disagree with this theory because I feel like the turnaround for the previous HasLabs have been pretty quick. I don't think they're sitting on the money. I think they're using the money to buy the tooling. Like, that's what I essentially am trying to do with Street Humans, is crowdfund the money for the tooling so I can make them. All the other stuff has come out of my pocket, but the tooling part is the really expensive factor in this whole thing. So I don't think they're just sitting on it, because you see the figure getting made really fast after. Like, there's been no crazy delays or anything. It actually feels like the notifications I've been getting about Galactus have been coming in pretty good pace. But I don't think they're just sitting on it. You know what I mean? To me, that implies they're taking their sweet ass time. I don't think they're doing that. Pre-ordered items can get canceled, though. That's true. Happened all the time with video games back in the day. There you go. That's another factor. They should offer tiered HasLabs like this, for example, 300 for powered up Robbie and Flames for deluxe offering, 350 for powered down. Option gold tiers are the same for every. So yeah, that's a lot more like a Kickstarter campaign, right? Where you have your different purchasing options. I think that they get interest on other people's money. Interest? There's no Hasbro credit card. That's a weird one. There's no interest on other people's money. I mean, if people are putting it on credit, the way people pay for it is up to you. You know what I mean? I put mine on my debit card, not on a credit card. So there's no interest charges for me if I end up backing this thing. Galactus, I did not put, I put on my debit card also, but the Sentinels, I did put on a credit card. So I did pay interest on the Sentinels. But yeah, that's a personal choice. Not everybody's paying interest on those things. And that interest that's not going to Hasbro. That's going to the credit card companies. Now, if Hasbro's in cahoots with the credit card companies, that's another story. That's a possibility that they could share board members and whatnot, but I don't really know. Spider Sammy, thank you so much. What makes me mad is all of the toxicity in the community. Also, I've been in a 6 hellhole in making my X-Men meets Avengers stop motion. I am near the end of animating, but holy cow, is it killing me? I hear you, man. I hear, yeah, stop motion. Oh, it really works the shoulders, right? I hate doing that. That pain right here kills me. Gives me headaches all the time. The toxicity in the community is vile. You know what I don't like hearing that bothers me? This is like the new trend is sick of all these people that say everything has to be positive and that we shouldn't criticize Hasbro and we shouldn't say anything negative ever or anything like that. Nobody's saying that. Hello? Nobody is saying that. If anybody who's spreading that narrative, fucking stop it, man. Nobody is saying that shit. Fucking hey, dude. Everybody's got their criticisms of Hasbro. Everybody. All the people that I know of that get free shit, that have gotten free shit some way from Hasbro, I've also heard them say negative things about Hasbro. Nobody's saying we got to be 100% positive about anything here. Nobody's saying that. So what happens now is that you're creating a false narrative on the other side of the argument and getting people all hyped over something that nobody's saying. Who's saying we should never be negative? Let's just be respectful of each other and not lie. How about that? That doesn't mean we can't talk about bad things that Hasbro's done. You know what I mean? Again, like I could list a ton of negative things about Hasbro right now. Right now, I could talk about all kinds of things about Hasbro that I wish they would do differently. Boom, let's go. Easy, man. Proper shading. I feel like all the figures should have some dope-ass shadowing effect. I miss that, man. Also, why can't we get a Spider-Man with proper cobweb lines sculpted on there? Also, why don't we get toe joints on every single figure? Also, why are you making us wait? Why are we still getting so many exclusives when the exclusive thing doesn't seem to be panning out, you know? Also, what's with the teams being released in different ways, like in different sections like this? Like, why are the teams coming out separately at retail? Like, we're only getting like half a wave here and half a wave there. That's why you guys haven't seen me complete the controller wave, is because it's in shambles. Still got to review the Maria Hill or the Quake figure from X-Mania 87. Thank you very much, Manny. But I have that figure. I've been wanting to review it. I still got to review Toad. You guys want to see those reviews? Let me know in the comment section. But for real, I've been saying negative things about Hasbro the whole time, and most of my friends and people that I know, they've got one thing or another to say about Hasbro that's negative. Nobody is saying, let's never say anything negative about Hasbro. Nobody's saying that. It's a false narrative. It's a false narrative imposed on a group of people, and I think it's messed up, man. I don't like that. I want to see what Bobby explained how the car is at the most 60 parts, whereas he counted about 50 different parts in each Sentinel arm. Also, there's less paint and labor, so I can't see the value anymore. Oh, that was there for me. I mean, that to me, that was already apparent. I mean, the articulation on the Sentinels, like on its own, just the fact that they're articulated, like the fact that they're articulated, if like this, which means like if 350 was a fair price for the Engine of Vengeance, then just based off of one having articulation and the other one not, like then that Sentinel should have been $700, right? Like, come on. Again, make me feel like the car should really be closer to $200 than 350. God. But yeah, that's why from the beginning I was saying that it shouldn't be 300. Dude, you know what also kind of you know what else grinds my gears is that I'm pissed off that this thing was $300. Like, I was frustrated at Comic-Con because I was like, they're gonna ask for $300. I know it. Like, damn it, they're gonna ask for $300. I want it to be $200, but fuck, man, they're gonna ask for $300. Watch, I'm like, please don't ask for 300. Please don't make it 300. And this whole time I was hoping for it, and fuck, dude, they made it 350. They made it worse. I want it, but it's not 350. For 350, bro. For 350. And what our inflation rate is it at 8.3 right now? I mean, like if you do the math, like say it had to be 350. Like say it, like for them, like the suits say, hey, you can't make a HasLab less than 350 because you guys knocked it out of the park with these other ones, so it has to be 350 now. That's the thing that pisses me off so much, is that they didn't make it less. They should have shot for a lower price point. That's where it looks so bad. That's where it looks so bad, because it's unarguably way less than what we got with the Sentinel and what we got with the Galactus. It's just blatantly so much less for your dollar that they don't need our money to get the stuff produced. Let me say it this way. How could, I'm trying to think of, like, it's like, how can I say this without sounding extremely disrespectful to Hasbro? Because I'm not trying to hide behind my sentiments, but I don't like particularly being super rude. Just say it this way, man. Thanos doesn't get the Infinity Gauntlet for the sake of not snapping. You know what I mean? Thanos doesn't go through the trouble of getting the Infinity Stones to not snap. It is their nature as a business to make as much money as possible. So as a consumer, we can feel that way, and I think that's a fair way to feel. But if you're on the other end and your goal is to make money, you're going through all the trouble to get the stones together and snap, why would you not snap? You got to try to make all that money as much as you can. That's in their nature. Do they need to do it? Do they have to do it? I personally don't think they have to. But they're a business, and it's their nature to want to make as much money as possible. So that's why they're going to do that. And you kind of have to accept it or not accept it. You know what I mean? Like, like another Nick was saying, like you don't have to go that route. If you don't want to, you don't have to partake if you don't want to partake. It's one of those things. It's like buying a soda at an amusement park, man. That's basically what I'm getting at over here. It's like buying a $5 20-ounce Coke at a fucking amusement park. You know you're getting fucked, but you're there for the bougie experience, for the pleasantries. And that's what this is. This is all extra stuff. Nobody needs to go to an amusement park to survive. Nobody needs to buy a HasLab figure to survive. This is all extra pleasantries in our lives over here. So yeah, it's like the $5 soda. The amusement park could charge $2.50 like they do everywhere else. They could. Thanos could put the Infinity Gauntlet on and not snap his fingers, but that's not the nature of the amusement park. That's not the nature of the Hasbro as a business. They're there to make money. And if you don't want to give them your money, that's totally fine. If you don't want to go to that amusement park, that's totally fine. If you don't want to buy that $5 soda, that's totally fine. That's a beautiful thing about this. You guys got to understand. I hate the fact that there's people. Look at this. This is what. Oh, here. Let me read this first, and then get back. Since Legends hasn't offered anything interesting to me, I've just been buying up DC McFarlane figures. Buy what you wanna, but I'm going with the value. I go with what I think is dope shit. I like the cool stuff. I'm a sucker for the cool stuff, and I think that Robbie Reyes is cool stuff, so I want it. The price I don't like, and I may have to back out of it, but I like cool stuff. That's where I tend to lean. And I have not slowed down on buying McFarlane Toys figures, by the way. I mean, what I still have a bunch of stuff that I bought that I haven't reviewed yet, you know. I like this Bane figure a lot. Got my Bane figure, got my Talon, my Necron, still got to review all those. Whole bunch of stuff I got to review still. A bunch of McFarlane stuff not a ridiculous amount of McFarlane stuff that I haven't opened yet. I love my Atrocitus wave. I mean, I think McFarlane has just been crushing it, man. I think they've been doing a great job. I just hope that if this doesn't get back, that we get Mephisto in a wave. They probably will. Sammy says, Chris Allen, thank you, dude. Enough with the name calling and the bigotry. We are collectors. We need to protect each other and respect each other. Absolutely. We don't. This is kind of a highlight moment in the collecting community because we're actually more unified than ever. That's why I really don't like any divisive shit out there right now. I don't like it if people are trying to pit collectors against each other because we all agree that this shit costs too much for what it is. Like, nobody is saying it's a great value. That is incredible because we usually disagree on this issue a lot. And the fact that we're not disagreeing, that's an amazing thing. And then on top of it, we're letting Hasbro know. Like, Hasbro knows that the price sucks hard. Like, they really know we are unhappy with them. They got the fucking message loud and clear. They know it. They know as a collective of collectors, we are pissed off. We're not happy. Robbie Reyes, though, them throwing that head in there, it's made a lot of people happy. I am surprised so many people are for it because of that, but whatever. It's not, you know what I mean? I find it strange that somebody was like, oh, they're including the Robbie head sculpt. I'm back in. Like, that shocks me. That personally shocks me. Because if I'm backing out, that Robbie Reyes head is not enough for me to back out of it. I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm like, well, then you could, I mean, damn, man. I don't know. Maybe people are as fickle. I don't know. I guess people are fickle. I get, it's a tough choice to make too, man. It's not an easy choice to make. I never said the price was fair. but I was unaware of the actual figure making process, and Bobby explained it in a way that I can't explain in 200 characters. Right. The thing I want to know is how does Bobby know all of their numbers? Because like you could have one of those things incorrect. So like I'm not saying he's wrong. All right. So first off, Bobby knows this shit way better than I do. Okay. He knows this shit way better than I do. But I do know that if one of those numbers is off by a little bit, it could change the whole formula of the whole thing. Like there's not just like one cost for one thing. There's like costs involved into a whole bunch of other things. So like what's their freight shipping look like? Do they pay more on freight shipping? I don't know what their freight shipping costs are. I think I saw Bobby mention that they get like extremely great deals from the factory. I believe that. Like it makes sense to me, like that they have like because they produce so much stuff, like they have to have a factory, and Todd does too. I bet both of those companies have factories where they're just dialed in. They can just shoot the sculpts over, get those files over, get things printed real fast, and get the tooling made and get new stuff out. And I have a feeling all those companies have factory. Oh, the bigger ones anyway are really tight and they can just move real quick. I've talked to other people that have smaller businesses that have done Kickstarters like mine, but were actually successful, and they have to go through a huge waiting process on everything. Like everything takes forever, and there's heavy costs involved in the shipping. There's heavy costs involved in there's all this other overhead that I'm just saying. I'm not saying Bobby's wrong. He even said that he could be wrong. But I just want you to know that if he's wrong about one thing, that could alter the whole equation big time. You know, it's one of those things where it's not an A plus B. It's like a huge formula. There's all kinds of stuff involved here, so that if one thing he says is just wrong by just enough, it could alter the price of this thing, and it could add up to $350. What I would like to know, and what I would like to see, is they'll never disclose it, but I want to know what their profit margin is. It's like, if you why don't you tell us what why don't you tell us what your profit margin is? Just to ease all our nerves. Are they going to do that? Never. They're never going to do that. Bobby did say that someone that's not in the public eye is calling the shots on the price, and not Dan, Dwight, or Ryan. Absolutely, it's not either of those guys. You're right. I already knew that. I knew that. Not everybody knows that. But yeah, those guys don't set the price. Oh, man. Those guys do not set the price. That's like one thing that we should all like acknowledge, is that like Dwight designed, like, let's put it this way. I think Dwight did a fantastic job. All right. Like if you're just to single each of these people out, I think Dwight and this whole thing did a great job, because the car looks sick. The figure looks cool enough for me. I'm happy with it. And I like the head sculpts a lot. Like, I don't think anybody's like really bashed the product itself, aside from it not being an official Dodge Charger, which still upsets me a lot. I really wish it was an official Dodge, but the fact is that it looks cool. Not a lot of people are saying it looks like garbage. Everybody's saying the price is too high for what it is, but nobody's saying that it's a bad offering. Like Dwight did a bad job. I think Dwight did a great job. Ryan and Dan, I think they had the impossible task of polishing a turd. Like, for real. Dude, they had to have known that 350 is going to be a tough sell. You know? Like, they had to have known. Dude, they're in touch with the collectors more than anybody else from Hasbro. Ryan and Dan are. Dwight doesn't. I don't think Dwight really interacts with people from the public, but both Ryan and Dan do. They have their eye on the pulse, no pun intended, but they know how the collectors feel better than anybody else. So I know they can never say it, but without a doubt, I believe both of them think that it's a shit price too, and that they knew going in that it's going to be a tough sell. Had to have, unless somehow unless something else happened along the way and they got too pumped for it and they didn't realize it. But I even warned them at Comic-Con that, like, if they weren't already thinking it on their own, that moment where I was saying not more than 300, not more than 300, when I'm telling them that, they should have really known. Like, that right there 100% seals it for me that they knew that collectors were going to think it was too much. So I feel sorry for those guys for having to try to make this thing look like it's $350 as much as possible, if they felt that way. But I doubt Ryan and Dan didn't know this was going to be a tough sell. I can't imagine. Those guys are too close. Be honest, we can nothing more. Spider Sammy, they should not have done Robbie. If they did Giant Man, then I feel there wouldn't have been as much kerfuffle. Also, you guys call Hasbro out a lot. Yeah, all the collectors do. And you know what, man? They're not that sensitive of a group of guys, really. They've been taking criticism for a long time. Now, they get emotional here and there. Not emotional to the point where it's like, it's not, it's not like any of them were smashing a claw figure against the glass or calling anybody an asshole, like right before they take a sip of their Coke, or any of that stuff. It's not like any of that stuff happened, right? But you could tell that they have feelings connected to this stuff. Yeah, so agreed. The choice itself, not that popular of a character, not iconic as a Thunder Tank or a Party Wagon, right? It's not up there with those other vehicles, or a Batmobile even, right? A Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider compared to a Batmobile is an unfair comparison in the sense of popularity of iconic vehicles. Batmobile is like the iconic vehicle, man. Of course, people are going to buy a Batmobile like crazy. Even if it's $500, they're going to buy the Batmobile. It's an iconic vehicle. Robbie Reyes, hey, as much as I love seeing Latino superheroes, it's like he's not an iconic superhero on that level of Batman. Fucking Batman, dude. Come on. The Rancor was $250 and missed. This will miss by a few hundred for sure. Unless they throw in that Mephisto. That's the only chance I think it has. That's all. And even then, I don't think it's going to seal it. But if that Robbie head, I, again, am fucking surprised that Robbie head turned the dial the other way. I can't fucking believe it. My mind is blown. But it has. So because of that, which I didn't expect to have happen, I sincerely think that if they just say, hey, look, if we get to 9,000, we're throwing in the fucking Mephisto, all right? We're going to throw in the Mephisto if we hit the 9,000. I think that is probably their best bet. Their best realistic bet. The unrealistic seal of the deal is if they include a Danny Ketch with his motorcycle. Like, that right there is that's gonna send it over the charts if they include a Danny Ketch with motorcycle, which they're not gonna do. We all know they're not gonna do that. So the most realistic thing that could save this thing, I think, is the Mephisto getting thrown in there. Because if that Robbie head turned the dial, then I think that Mephisto could save it for them. I think it could save it for them. Plunderlings! Yo, what's up, man? How you doing? Don't want to derail the conversation, but I just wanted to thank you for the awesome Brian Flynn. Thank you. Hey, right on. Ricky, thank you so much, man. Yeah, dude, I'm glad you liked it. I worked really hard on that video and had a lot of fun talking to Brian. That was great. That was really, really good. Wow. Yeah, but that yeah, I just got like a notification pop up over here that distracted me for a second. Glad you liked it. If you guys haven't seen the Brian Flynn interview, showed off the Thunderhawks, the Silverhawks, so that was really cool. I got to do that. Plunderlings. I mean, Plunderlings knows something about cost and everything. I'm kind of curious to know what you think. Like, I am very curious to know what you think. You know a lot about this stuff more than I do, man. So, I mean, I want to know what your perspective is if you're down to share it on the cost of this thing. Russ, what do you really think Hasbro could do in order to salvage this? Yeah, even Mephisto only added a few hundred backers, and nobody even believes we'll unlock any tiers anyway. Well, Mephisto was originally offered as something as an unlock at the 12K mark. I think only based off of that Robbie head changing things so much that the Mephisto would actually get the thing back if they just included it with the whole purchase. Like, just include the fucking Mephisto, throw it in there, and then get your fucking thing done and save yourself the embarrassment of this whole fiasco, because this has just been bad PR for Hasbro in general. You know what I mean? Yeah, I thought it was 350, not 250. Russ, it seems like you slowed down on the Black Series, but just judging by the reviews, are you still buying a lot of those? Yes, I have. I actually have a huge stack that I need to open. I also have a deluxe review coming up that, thank you for reminding me, Tom. I appreciate that. Where it's 4 deluxe figures that I'm going to review all at once. So I have the Saw Gerrera figure. I have the Cobb Vanth. I have the Boba Fett. I have the Cantina figure musician. I can't remember its name. It came with all the extra shit. I think it's those 4. I think it's just those 4. There might be a 5th deluxe one that I forgot about. But yes, I will review more Black Series. Stay tuned. I still love my Star Wars. I'm not mad as Hasbro trying to make money. They are a company, but everyone is trying to survive right now, and no one is going to buy what they can't afford. Yeah, dude, I know the feeling so much. You guys remember? I mean, you do, action figure dude, but like the Street Humans, like, look, man, big problem with that. I think I was asking too much. Like, retrospectively, there's several mistakes made, but one of them, I think, with that Kickstarter for an initial offering, I was asking too much. I will not ask so much next time. I will not. I will learn from my mistake. I will not ask so much next time. But that's why that's another reason why I want to stop it. I wanted to change that. I think the investors won't give them an inch with product anymore across all licenses, hence the HasLab crap and forced FOMO through scarcity. The investors won't give them an inch with product anymore across all licenses. The investors being the big box companies. Is that what you're talking about? Because that's how this works, is that you have the big box companies that throw money at these things, and Amazon. They invest money into getting a bunch of these things produced. So you're talking about Target and Amazon. Yeah, I mean, they've lost a lot of money with bad choices, like with the movie figures and stuff. Like, all that peg warming is like Hasbro and Target and Walmart. Like, when you see that, that's them taking a big loss on an investment right there. We don't have to agree, but we don't have to hate. Your opinions count in either way. It's okay. Yeah, of course, man. Man, Robert, look, I think that Hell Charger looks cool as hell. If you think that Hell Charger looks like the worst action figure vehicle of all time, I would be interested in hearing why you think that, but I would respect you as a person just as much. There's no reason to disrespect you in any kind of way. Like Nick right here, he just backed out of it. You know what I mean? Like, that's his choice. I respect Nick the same way. I'm not back. I haven't backed out of it right now. He chose to. That's his choice. I have just as much respect for Nick as I did the moment before as I do right now. It doesn't change anything. Also, there's a lot of sexual harassment going on in the community for some reason. What? It's actually disgusting. Some of the stuff that people say, oh, come on. Fucking shit. Century Productions, who loves Marvel Legends. Subscribe to his stuff. He's also a toy buff. I disagree. I think the Engine of Vengeance should cost $450. They really spoiled us with all the accessories for the HasLab. Centuries. Like, you know what, man? You're late to the shill game. All right, you're late to the shill game. You had to say stuff like that a little bit earlier if you want to be part of our shill club. All right, bro. Can't be part of the shills if you're gonna start just jump in right now. Yeah, $450. Fucking asshole. Keep in mind, HasLab Star Saber was under 200. I do think about that a lot. That's what made me think that this could be like $200. Here's the other thing, man, is that if that Star Saber was 200, Hasbro owns the license to Transformers. If they thought, like, if it's really worth 200 on Hasbro's end to make it, like, if they didn't have to pay Marvel, is Marvel taking 150 out of that 350? Holy fuck. Are they? I wouldn't be surprised. But are they taking one? Is Disney taking 150 out of that 350? Dude, it's more than a third. Ooh, is Disney taking 150 out of that 350? Where's the name call? Yeah, I hate it, man. It's so gross. And it's like, I hate people name calling and being disrespectful. I don't hate people criticizing Hasbro. They're not the same thing. People get themselves confused. It doesn't have to be positive all the time about Hasbro. We could talk about negative things with Hasbro all day. I've been doing it for like 14 years. Yeah, but Hasbro got the message when the Rancor failed. Yet, here we are again. Well, not the same thing. Not the same thing. I think the Rancor was rushed. I think there were more problems with the Rancor as a product than there is with the Engine of Vengeance as a product. See, the problem with the Engine of Vengeance is the price. The product looks good. It's just that price is ridiculous for what it is. The Rancor, that product was looking shoddy. I was getting seduced by that Rancor, but then like some people started pointing out paint flaws and previous Rancors that had better paint apps, and I was like, oh my fucking god, this is not like the dopest looking Rancor I've ever seen. There's some other ones out there that actually kind of older ones that have comparable paint apps. So I'm like dude. So I think the Rancor was rushed, and that quality of product wasn't there for that. Engine of Vengeance doesn't seem rushed to me at all. It seems like they did it thoroughly the way they wanted to do it. It's just that the Marvel license is making them ask too much money. Will you be playing the Marvel Midnight Subs game this year? First time hearing of it? Probably won't. The rent is too damn high. Oh, you're telling me. Jesus, man. It's coming up soon. And then, another thing is that my daughter's birthday is at the end of October. Like, if I end up having to back out of it, it's probably going to be because of that over anything else. You know what I mean? Like, I got family shit I got to take care of. Where is, did I skip the Plunderlings response? I want to see. Oh, I wanted to see if Plunderlings had anything to say about the HasLab, if you wanted to, anyway. What's up, Prescribed Drone? Waves are like 200 nowadays, which is sort of crazy compared to 140 to 160 before. Exactly. Exactly. I want to know how much profit Valiverse makes off each figure. There you go. See, it's like, are we going to do that with every single thing now? How you doing, Toy Bandit? Good to see you. Need about 350. Yeah, 350 profit margin. It's probably cost them 100 to make every one they're selling for 350. We don't know. I want to know how much the mouse is taking too. I'm not sure why anyone thinks they set the price. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, nobody should think the Hasbro team that we see out there in the public is the one setting the price. Price hikes, QC issues, windowless packaging, more reports of fig swapping than ever. Okay, so lots of issues. How can they get back in with consumers? Okay, the QC issues is the only thing I disagree with here. The QC issues is the only thing I disagree with because I feel like the QC problems have kind of been consistent. I don't think that's a factor in this thing. We've had tons of figures with QC problems way before this. Psylocke coming out with the wrong color hair. Endgame Hawkeye with the weird bendy gummy knees. We've had there's paint app flaws left and right beforehand. Like we've had paint flaws and QC issues throughout with Marvel Legends for a long while. That's the only thing I disagree with. I also disagree with the quality being weaker. I disagree with that statement because they've been adding more paint to the faces and we've been getting pinless joints trickled in. So to me, those things are an increase of quality to the figures than a decrease of quality to the figures. But I do agree that the windowless packaging is a downer. You're basically cutting off a lifeline to mint on card collectors. Like, what the fuck? And then the figure swapping is easier to do. That's garbage too. That sucks. But with the added paint detail on the faces, the better looking pinless joints, I think those things that have helped, those are extra good things, not a regress. Those are added things that they've been doing that work for the figures. Matthew Matson, how you doing? The Robbie head costs another 200. People know how desperate they are. It cost another 200 people. You mean they gained another 200? I am a little bit confused. Make it a Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider. Oh, good. I think they should include a $150 Hasbro gift card in tier 1. I know. What Ray Farr said, yeah. I just don't see the QC being worse than it was before, unless you want to include figure swaps, but that's not QC. And then, like, the thing with Dan Hu getting shoddy paint apps, like, I know that personally that the earliest figures have the worst paint apps. Like, a lot of the time I've paid extra to get figures early, and when I've done that, it's like, oh man, I paid extra to get it early and I got a little paint flaw here and there, but even then it's not even drastic. Oh, Aaron, sorry. Do you think Marvel Legends should make a new Hulk action figure? Oh, I'm sure they're going to. I want an A-bomb though. An A-bomb would be great. Or a Weapon H would be a really cool one too. Any version of Ghost Rider is B tier at best. HasLab should be A tier legacy characters for yes. Omega 579. Yes. 100% agree with this. They should have gone with an A tier. Like I'm saying, man, look, if they made that, I'm starting to get upset, but Quinjet, that should have been the very first HasLab vehicle, a Quinjet. You know why? Because that was going to be the first vehicle from Toy Biz. And even though it was going to be a paper thing that you had to put together a little bit here and there, I don't care, man. They should have made that the first HasLab. If it was a Quinjet, I would have been sold on it so fast. I would have been, I mean, I backed it quickly, but I wouldn't feel reluctant about it. I would feel very confident about it. I would feel good about it. I would feel that must have feeling that I don't necessarily have with the Robbie Reyes right now. But I want it. Let's see. I might sell some stuff that I haven't had on display for a long time. I'm gonna host a whatnot, and we'll see. I don't want to like talk about that too long, or else it sounds like I'm pushing. I don't want to make it about that, you know. Russ, have you backed off on collecting the Black Series? I'm just judging by the lack of reviews. Did you see? Oh, I responded to this. No, but I still have a whole bunch of figures that I haven't opened yet. You want to see? Yeah, I can show you. I have a whole bunch of figures here that I haven't opened yet that I want to get to. But I still love my Star Wars Black Series. Here's just some of the stack of the older figures that I've had. Some of them I've had around for a while. And some of them are newer. Oh, yeah, the gaming Chewbacca. So, here we go. I got Galen Urso right there. That's on carpet. Oh, I have the Geonosis, right? Yeah, the Geonosis droid, which I still haven't opened. Got that at Star Wars. I got this at Star Wars Celebration also. This is the Imperial Clone Shock Trooper. Picked these up from Dorkside. Oh, yeah, the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Got to open that up. Darth Vader from Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I want to rewatch that series, by the way. I really liked it. Oh, yeah. Fifth Brother Inquisitor. Looks really good. Have Princess Leia right here from the Ewok Village. Got the Proto Boba Fett. Missed the first one, even though I reviewed it. I borrowed it. Now I got it. Then I got Curse of Tan right over here. And I'm going to send it to Robo, and he's going to make me a better one. No, it's not going to happen, but I wish it could. I just want to send this to Robo and just be like, Robo, can you just make it better, please? You got several ways of making Black Chrysanthemum better. And then I got freaking Omega over here from the Bad Batch. That's been sitting around for a minute. So I'll group those up accordingly when I review them. I also have the deluxe figures I mentioned. Shart, you didn't ask Brian about my powdered toast man. Oh, I totally forgot. I'm sorry. Oh, and Jay's Figs asked me to ask him about the turtle's hips. I did ask that off screen, but I totally forgot about Powdered Toast Man. I also forgot about Nightmare Before Christmas. I wanted to ask him more about Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. And yeah, there's a lot of things that I wish. I was there for a long time, man. There's so much stuff to talk. I was there for 2 hours. It's a 30-minute video, but I was there for 2 hours. So there's a lot of stuff that we talked about that kind of went on for a while that I had to take out. But I didn't take any subject matter on toys. I just, I forgot to mention those things. What would save the HasLab? That would instantly save it, but they're not going to do that. They will not do that. I wish they would. If a 7-year-old design, I can't see the hype unless you love the character. Which one is this? What are we talking about? Is it Robbie Reyes? I think you're talking about Robbie Reyes because should make a new Hulk action figure. Well, they just did one. You know what I mean? I don't know, like a brand new body mold. Is that what you mean, Aaron? Like a brand new Hulk body mold? Or a new head on a different color Hulk figure? This has been bad PR. What about raising prices, dropping QC, and cheaper packaging? Well, how many videos are there about that? Huh? Matt? Because I see a shitload of videos talking about the HasLab, but I don't see a shitload of videos. And the drop in QC issue thing, I can't agree with that. That one I think is fake. The price is going up That's horrible. The packaging thing, horrible. Packaging thing doesn't bother me as much, but I think it's a horrible choice because I think you're cutting off a bunch of collectors that like to collect stuff in card. So that's why I think that. But they still haven't totally done away with it because they have their retro card stuff coming out still. But for the regular Marvel Legends collector that loves to keep stuff mint on card, now what are they going to do? How do you keep going? But the drop in QC, I think people got to stop that because it's not real. I don't think it's an increase. I think their QC issues have been consistently in the same place. I remember there being tons of QC issues before. Like, oh, what about the freaking Misty Knight? And every single eye was wrong. Remember that? The Misty Knight figure and every single eye was wrong? Or what about my Rogue figure and her lips were off to the side? Like these are all window package figures here. Right? Remember that? My Rogue figure with the messed up mouth? I've had a bunch of figures that had eyes looking the wrong. Remember that dumb shit when all the figures were looking up for hella long? So much value in the $37 Bratz car with working everything in it. I know. That's ridiculous. Oh, here we go. I can't speak to this HasLab specifically, but manual labor in China is costing more. So things that require a lot of assembly are going to become more expensive. Even the cost of plastic is going up. There you go. He's only speaking as someone who's working in the industry. Keep in mind, this is a shill-proof comment right here. He has his own business. Pretty sure plunderlings shills only for plunderlings, right? Like there's no incentive to BS for Hasbro if it's a different company. So he's talking from his experience here. Manual labor in China is costing more, so things that require a lot of assembly are going. Damn. Think about it, you guys. There could be some. I don't know. This is raising the possibility that Hasbro's lining their pockets with not as much money as we were assuming. But, he doesn't know specifically for this HasLab what their costs are. But he just knows in general that manual labor has gone up in China and the cost of plastic is going up. That's scary. It's scary for street humans too. Shit. I find it obvious that movie Marvel Legends figures tend to release early in retail compared to comic book and Disney Plus figures. Yeah, because the retailers are dropping more money on the. Gonna try to review Mojo. All right, I actually they didn't do the Rancor after. I am 11 minutes into the after party and I still have to stop at 9 o'clock. I feel really bad. Oh my goodness. Wait, I got to read. Oh, holy shit. All right. I didn't realize how far back I was here. Can we all agree on one thing? This campaign has been the best ad for the Bratz car. Personally, I just want my Galactus to forget about this HasLab. Yeah, I know. I know. I can't wait to get my Galactus. I'm going to be happy as hell when I get my Galactus. Bratz. Yeah, we're all Bratz fans now. I want to chat in the after party, have some thoughts. Let's do it. We got to go to the after party, you guys. If you want to sell your animated series Batmobile, which I don't want to sell, does anybody happen to know if McFarlane 3 Joker's Batman can fit inside it? That Batmobile was $100. Yeah, it was $85 for me. I remember that it was $85 for me. What's up, Wacko? Are you going to do a review on Mr. Bombastic Bagman? If I were to have it in hand, I would. But that's what you get for asking a question when I don't have the figure. No, that was totally by accident. Sorry, you guys. All right, I have to run anyway. If they put some great art on the packaging with a photo of the toy on the back, that might be a better approach. Bro, I don't think so. I don't think so, bro. No. If they got to learn from the Rancor. Fucking cardboard and ink is not going to be the answer to this thing. While that could be cool, I hope they don't do that. I think that I'm not a big fan of that idea, to be honest. What do you think about Articulated Ninja's video? I don't like the idea of pitting collectors against each other, because if like anybody that is a Hasbro fan or a fan of this HasLab, if they're a mindless collector or whatever, like they are not profiting from the sales of HasLab. Like they're still customers. Like they're not. It's not like all the Thanos people are taking money from the other side. It's not an us versus them thing. We're actually a lot more unified now, more than ever. And John, nobody is saying we can't have negative discussions about Hasbro. Nobody's saying that. It's a false narrative. It's a false narrative being imposed on people that just like the HasLab, and I think that's unfair. I think that's unfair because nobody is saying you can't say negative stuff about Hasbro's products or Hasbro's HasLab. I don't know of anybody who doesn't have a gripe or a complaint or something that they think Hasbro could do better. Everybody has their own complaints about Hasbro, and everyone's pretty vocal about it. So to say, oh, I'm tired, that there's a group of people that don't want to hear any negativity at all, that's ridiculous. Think of it like this. If I was one of those people, which I don't think he was pointing the finger at me, but I don't think it's if he was pointing that finger at me and I was going to try to, like, why would I be okay with so many people saying bad things about Hasbro in my comment section? Like, if I was really against all negativity against Hasbro, then felt like a true shill at their best. Like, if you were really to pay somebody off to be a shill, wouldn't you delete all the negative comments about Hasbro? Is there anybody doing that? Ooh, I don't do that shit. I'll do that shit if someone's being disrespectful to me. Then you're not invited to the party. Like, I will throw your ass out. But if you just have a disagreement and opinion on quality of something, or you got something negative to say about the product, you get to stay, So I want to know if these true shills out there are deleting negative comments about Hasbro. So that would be really bad if they were. Nobody should be doing that. If you're being disrespectful, that's a different game. All right. That's a different, you're in violation. So now you're in violation. You've lost the respect. You don't get, if you come in disrespecting, then you lose respect and you get the fuck out. That's kind of how I see that. Right? If you come in disrespectful, then you get no respect. If a HasLab was successful like the Galactos and Sentinel, why not release it for everyone as a standard release? Can I just ask you guys a favor? From now on, can we call it Galactos instead of Galactus? I just like that a whole lot better. I like my Galactos. Big old Galactos. That's what I'm gonna call my feet from now on. I don't have regular man toes. I got Galactos, bro. All right, I gotta get the fuck out of here. We're getting into after party territory. I don't know, man. You can yes, I got you. I always late to get to your stream because of the time difference. I'm from Ukraine. Hey, God bless, man. Man, Jesus. But I don't miss it. Thank you for finding the time to hang out here and everything. I wish you and everyone that you care about the best, man. You probably know how most Americans feel about the situation. But yeah, I wish you the best, man. You and all your loved ones, all your friends and family. I wish you all the best, for real. What's the difference between this channel and the Shardimus channel? I get to say fuck here. I say fuck a whole bunch of times. I don't say fuck over there. So I say fuck a whole bunch over here. That's a big difference. That's basically it. A little bit more raw, a little bit more edgy, but the opinions stay the same. It's just a little bit more vulgar, a little bit more rough around the edges. Not any less honest. It's just the delivery is more crude. I know it was a typo, but I want to say galactose from now on. Russ After Party. If you want to show some love, sign up on the Shardimus Prime Patreon or the Shardimus Prime membership. But if you're having a hard time with the money, don't fucking do it. All right. Forget I said anything. But if you had a surplus and you wanted to, well, then go for it. Or look it up and see if you're interested. If you're not in a surplus, don't even think about it. All right. Don't even think about it. Not talking to you. All right. Anyway, After Party. Home Dude, thanks for coming through once again. Appreciate it. OG Shardimus is Russ Reviews. Yeah, I mean, before the channel got all big, you know what I mean? I found myself getting a much wider audience, so I kind of wanted to make things a little bit more PG-13. This I get to be more rated R. I could talk about other stuff, and then at the After Party, we'll talk about even dirtier stuff. I really got to go. Thank you, and thank you for content that you make for us. Hey, man, yeah, if the channel and the content could be a distraction for real world shit, I feel like I'm doing a good thing, and I hope it helps. Follow you until I was 14. Now I'm 28 years old and still keep collecting. Awesome. Right on, man. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Again, wish you the best. Hey, I saw your Super 7 video showing Silverhawks. They look amazing. Yeah, I thought they looked really cool. I really liked how they looked. They look way better than the renders to me. I thought they looked way better. After Party time. Thank you guys so much. And hopefully next week, same time. All right. Catch you later. Peace. Now for real. Peace.